Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the League Zero Racing Series, the premier
Alrighty.
Formula 3
What's
iRacing
good,
League.
everybody?
We're going to have
here
to
for
fix that
some,
real quick.
Go for
Let's try that again as we still have the audio pulled up for the race control in the back. Welcome back to the League Zero Racing Series, the premier Formula 3 iRacing League. Today we're at the virtual Sonoma Raceway, getting ready to fire things off for the first opening feature event of the evening. My name is James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for tuning in, supporting the league, supporting the broadcast. And let's go ahead and run through today's grid. Starting on pole, Reed Gibson, the number 11. Josh Green starting second. Finley Fitzsimmons starting third. Michael Chow starting fourth. Micah Barnett starts fifth. Justin Sang starting sixth. Nick Beaver starts seventh. John Kasai starting eighth. Jack Mundy starting ninth. Gareth McAllister starts 10th. Jared Ziegler starting 11th. Max Wobbles starting 12th. Cycling it on back, the Jake Duckwall starting 13th. Antonio Bianchi starting 14th. Ryan Tebow starts 15th. Felipe Sarkis starting 16th. Nick Peterson starts 17th. Xavier Zanave starts 18th. Peter Rettinger starts 19th. Norman King starting 20th. And looks like that's going to be Blaine Sparling, the number 9 machine. Will round out the 21-car grid here today. The feature event gets ready to fire off. As always, thank you to our fans, friends, and family. Tune in, supporting the league, supporting the drivers, as well as supporting the broadcast. And it looks like it's going to be a rolling start here at Sonoma. So a little bit different than we're used to. So definitely a little bit different. Normally a standing start here at League Zero. Looks like they're going to be doing the rolling start for both events. We've got the feature event that's going to be 26 laps. And then we will have our action-packed sprint race of the evening, which will be 13 laps as the field. Looks like they're having a bit of problems here behind the safety car. As it is a long lap under I-pacing. Now, it looks like we've had a few drivers go back to pit road. Jack Mundy taking a tow. Ryan Tebow also showed off track. As Reed Gibson, Josh Green will be on the front row getting lined up. As you can see on the track map, a long way to go before they make it to the start-finish line here at Sonoma. Blaine Sparling having some sort of incident on the pace lap. As we get ready to send the field out, they got to make their way down this brief backstretch into the hairpin. And here we go, ready for the lights to come on here at Sonoma. Pace car is in, green flag is out, away they go. Reed Gibson with a big launch up front. Looks like that's Micah Barnett, Michael Chow side by side right behind. As the field funnels into the uphill section of the racetrack. Looks like things will be clean so far. Gibson holds on to the race lead. The top 4, top 5 shuffle in single file, heading a little bit further back in the field. Ryan Tebow, the number 27 machine, right in the mix of it. He's got Felipe Sarkis right behind. Nick Peterson just ahead. And all 20 drivers are out on track except for Jack Mundy, who had those early problems. Panning back up front. Here's your top three: Gibson, Green, Fitzsimmons. Oh, nose to tail here. Gibson holds on to about a tenth of a second, but Josh Green shoots up the inside line. Oh, there's contact between the race leader, Reed Gibson, Josh Green. Oh, more contact. Here comes Fitzsimmons, slides up the inside line, taking over the second place spot. Edging now Josh Green. Further back, Micah Barnett has issues. He's got an off-track excursion as he falls down 15 positions, now 20th. And somehow Josh Green may have issues here as Cohn's getting punted at Sonoma. Finding himself side by side. That's going to be Michael Chow's 66 machine. So Green falling back one spot. Fitzsimmons moving up into second. This is going to give Gibson a mighty big breakaway and clean track on the nose of that number 11. As we watch Josh Green still having the pressure put on by Michael Chow, 66. Going a little bit further back, here is the battle for 7th. John Kasai has Jared Ziegler, Max Wobbles in hot pursuit. And just great racing all across the track here in California Hills of Sonoma. Wobbles staying tucked in right behind Ziegler. Ziegler keeping that forward momentum, trying to get around Kasai's number 3 machine, using that draft to his advantage. We go on board with Jared Ziegler, who just threw a nasty block on Wobbles. And that is allowing Kasai about a half-second breakaway as Wobbles tries to line up the 57 of Ziegler, seeing if he can find his way around. Still building up some momentum, and if you go just a little bit further ahead, there's Nick Beaver, Justin Sang, nose to tail, coming out of the hairpin as well. So just great racing all across the track. We're only 2 laps in of this. Now it's 3 laps of this 26-lap main event. Peter Rettinger comes back down pit road. He had an off track in the opening lap. Max Wobble still tucked in right behind Jared Ziegler. In the battle for 8th, now the top 15 drivers scoring points here in the feature event. The top 12 will be featured in the final sprint of the evening with an inverted top 12 grid. So these drivers, especially around that 10th through 15th place, have a lot to race for. Knowing if they can still have a great race, finish 12th or better, they'll be much closer to the tippy end up front for that sprint race, where track position can very much play a massive difference. We get our cameraman pan over to Reed Gibson, Finley Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons closing the gap to Gibson. Running just about identical lap times the lap prior as Josh Green in 3rd clicks off the fastest lap of the race. Oh, Fitzsimmons looks like he was setting up for a big sin at the inside line. Backs out of it, a lockup out of the number 16 machine. Hard on the brakes. Josh Green, Michael Chow still within striking distance, running 3rd and 4th. And Fitzsimmons did have the fastest lap so far at 1:22 flat. A half-second faster than race leader Reed Gibson. Fitzsimmons has the pace as it stands. Does he have the patience to pick and choose that moment carefully? And while this is going on, Nick Beaver moves up to the 5th place spot, with Justin Sang right behind. Sang takes a look to the inside, nowhere to go, has to back out of it. And the field's starting to stack up from about 6th to 10th place here. We're going to keep the camera pointed here on Justin Sang to 68, and we'll let you know if Gibson and Fitzsimmons start throwing haymakers up front. But man, as the field's stacking up, there's Jared Ziegler, the 57. He's up 3 spots, as well as Wobbles, the number 13, also gaining 3 positions so far. Oh, and no, the round goes Ziegler. Gets bumped by, I think that was Wobbles. No, was that Duckwall? Duckwall looks like he punted Ziegler out of the way there. Let's get a replay queued up. Not that slow-mo. Focus in on Jake Duckwall, was it? No, it was somebody right behind Ziegler. If we get a camera pointed a little bit closer at Jared Ziegler here. See who that may have been. I wonder if that may have been Ryan Tebow, I think. Tebow, Ziegler, both showing involved in the incident. We saw some hard parts flying there. Let's see if we can get a camera focused on Tebow. Looks relatively clean, the number 27 machine. I think that was Duckwall. I think it was Duckwall on the 99. And look at this 4-car battle. It's Zanave, Duckwall, Ziegler, Barnett. All battling for those final points-paying positions. Duckwall up the inside line. Fending off Ziegler in the 57. Zanave pulling a little bit of a gap, and we've got Jack Mundy joining us in the spectator area saying, when you forget how to rolling start, because you're in a Formula 3 machine, the rolling start claiming some victims early here. And look at the big send from Duckwall. Oh, and here comes Jared Ziegler running the corner a little bit tighter. Just like that, Xavier Zanave is going to fall back to 16th. And Finley Fitzsimmons in second. He has an off-track excursion. Oh, a big moment for Fitzsimmons as he's dropped all the way to 5th. There's Nick Beaver just ahead. Let's see what... Oh, actually, let's wait as Fitzsimmons, a little bit of red mist behind the visor. It looked like he was going to have a very gutsy move the inside. Wisely backs out of it. Let's take a peek, see what happened to Fitzsimmons here. Oh, apexed entirely too early, cuts through the grass. And now Fitzsimmons will have his work cut out for him. A fair amount of solo car incidents to start this feature event. As the camera's focused on Micah Barnett, shoots up the inside line of Zanave. Zanave tries to cut back down. Barnett closes the door. Barnett down 10 positions from where he started. Now, it looks like Peter Redger is going to get back out on track after that lap 1 pit stop. In his stall for 4.5 minutes. And now Nick Beaver has his hands full of Finley Fitzsimmons, who was previously battling for the lead, now finds himself in 5th. Wayne Sparling back in 17th. He's got an off-track excursion. And I believe, yes, we get confirmation, a battle for 8th underway. Max Wobbles, Antonio Bianchi, nose to tail. Keep an eye out. There's Nick Peterson and Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian as well, and is sitting currently in 12th. Ryan Tebow, that final spot to be in the inverted grid for the feature, the upcoming sprint race of the evening. My favorite race to call the action. We've got half the laps, twice the action. Mundy letting us know he will not be making it back out on track here today. At least in this feature event, he's going to try and get his Formula 3 machine put back together in time for the sprint race and see what points can be salvaged. Peterson shoots up the inside line of Bianchi. Longtime rivals and friends come out of the hairpin side by side. Bianchi will hold the inside line, that preferred spot, shooting up the hill. Peterson's going to take a second, build the momentum back up. Can't wait too long as there's McAllister in the 25 right behind. McAllister knows he's dangerously close to the bubble with that inverted top 12. He wants to get a little bit higher up the standings, maximize those points, put himself in the safest place possible, which is always easier said than done here at League Zero. There's not many safe places out on circuit. Speaking of hot seats to be in, there's Beaver and Fitzsimmons still going at it for 4th. Beaver up 3 spots from where he started. Fitzsimmons down 2. Now Fitzsimmons never afraid to throw the nose of that car in and try and make something happen. Oh, we've got a crash report. Norman King limping it along in the number 28. I think he's going to take a tow back to pit road here. Where is he? How'd he end up there? I have more questions than answers here. Let's back that camera angle up a little bit and see what happened to our good friend Norman King. I can tell you what happened. He was in the grass and not the asphalt. Not where you want to be, smashing the left side of the car against the wall. And he does take a tow back to pit road, forced into an early retirement for this feature event. Back up front, it's Gibson and Green battling for the lead. Two very, very quick drivers. They have time to race here. They built up a 1.5 second advantage over Michael Chow, sitting in third. As Beaver and Fitzsimmons currently round out the top 5. Now drivers at this point this season, we've got more problems for Fitzsimmons. I was about to say drivers late in the season have to be wary of getting too many penalty points here. As Fitzsimmons looks, let's see what happened in that crash report to see what happened to the British driver. A big send up the inside, too much. And just loses the rear end there. Very thankful not to get bumped out on track. As we go back up front to your race leaders, Josh Green, Reed Gibson, pulling it still now only a second ahead of Chow. Chow closing the gap. And you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen the official League Zero track map at how spread out the field is starting to get. But, I mean, even at the way back in 17th and 18th, you still see drivers, that's Jared Ziegler, Blaine Sparling, still having their own racing going on. As Green and Gibson mirroring each other's lines here, first and second. And when you see drivers get up the pace, they gained about 2 more tenths on Chow in third. Chow hoping that the top 2 drivers spend a little bit too much time battling out amongst themselves, so maybe, just maybe, he can get that 66 machine up into the fray, battling for the lead. Now we are 2 laps shy of the halfway mark when the crossed green and white flags will come out here at Sonoma. And I'm very intrigued to see what the pit strategy out of these drivers is going to be. Who will be the first one down pit road? I would imagine Green will stretch out as long as he can. Gibson may go for the undercut to try and get some clean air and clean track ahead of that number 11 machine. Antonio Bianchi with an off-track excursion finds himself way out in the weeds after coming up the hill. There goes Jake Duckwall in the 99 machine, and here comes Xavier Zanave in the 12. And the now pit road reporter Jack Money letting us know the dirty air through the S is very tough on these drivers, taking the aero away from each other, losing the downforce, and becomes very, very treacherous to hold on to these open wheel Formula 3 machines. Here comes Ryan Tebow trying to make his 5th pass of the night against world-famous Australian Gareth McAllister, the number 25 machine sitting in 10th. The 27 of Tebow having a good run. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Nick Peterson, number 24. He's our hard charger of the evening. Didn't have the qualifying he was looking for, starting 17th, but has worked his way all the way up to 9th. As we just saw Felipe Sarkis, Micah Barnett coming down pit road. Tebow staying glued to the tail end of McAllister. Antonio Bianchi, the number 17 machine, also making his green flag stop. The green flag pit stop's officially underway. As the battle for 5th still going at it. That's Finley Fitzsimmons trying to get around Justin Sangs, number 68. You can just see John Kasai and Max Wobbles in the background. And what happened here? Looks like Sang may have missed an apex. Checking up, Fitzsimmons looks for a way around. Fitzsimmons tries the high-low move. He's going to get it. Oh, narrowly. Did they make contact? Yes, they did. Fitzsimmons and Sang wheel-to-wheel in the battle for 5th. Fitzsimmons muscles his way around, and now John Kasai closing the gap to the 68 of Sang. Kasai about a half second. Let's make it about 4/10 off the back of that 6th place, number 68 machine. Looks like Fitzsimmons gets some clean air, muscles down, quickly building up about a second over what is now the battle for 6th. And you can also see Max Wobbles in that number 13 machine closing the distance as well. Trying to get up in the mix, see what he can do here. As let's pan back up front, Reed Gibson keeping the pressure on Josh Green in the number 22. Gibson qualified on pole. We know he has the pace, but now Green has the clean air. Will Green have the drive defensively, though, slowing the pace down? They've built up a 2-second advantage over Chow in 3rd. I think that answers our question. Yes, Green's going to run the defensive line here at Sonoma. Gibson still right there with him, right behind. As we're on board, Gibson, the number 11 machine. Well, you can see the counter steer ever so slightly as Gibson holds on to it. But not giving Green an inch to breathe here. It's very noticeable, 2 different drivers, the different line choices and different strengths on the track. Now Green, a part-time driver this season, his real-life racing schedule taking priority. But when he comes out each and every Thursday, when he is able to break away from the real-life racetrack, he comes out and plays for keeps. As Money the Spectator makes a good point, if these 2 top drivers, Green and Gibson, push too hard, that could allow a bit of a shakeup in the points here. As Finley Fitzsimmons currently driving with a bit of damage, Nick Beaver, the number 10 machine, comes down pit road for his green flag stop. Right now, Gibson, your current points leader. Fitzsimmons in 2nd. He started this main event, this feature event, 33 points back from Gibson. So Gibson may just play it safe here, knowing he just has to finish well, finish in front of Fitzsimmons. And most importantly, just finish, score some points to keep the young British driver at bay as we get ready to close off the season in a few short rounds. Get a crash report saying Rettinger off track, not seeing any other drivers involved in that. And we're going to go ahead and get a poll started up here on the YouTube. Let's see if I can get this thing figured out. We've got a poll put up here on the broadcast on YouTube. Let us know. Will Reed Gibson, currently second behind the Indy Pro driver Josh Green, play it safe? Or is he going to lick the stamp and send it here? They are still 1.3 seconds ahead of Michael Chow. They've slowed down the pace slightly. Justin Sang down pit road in the number 68 for his green flag stop. We do have a crash report showing Peter Rettinger involved in an issue. Looks like it's going to be the final hairpin. And arguably more importantly, past the pit entry. The Rettinger, if he has any damage here, will have to stay out another lap. Let's see what happens. Just loops the tail end, avoids all the safety barriers very narrowly. So no damage, thankfully, for Rettinger. The chat quickly coming alive, voting what looks to be Gibson for the win. Or at least attempting to go for the win, I should more aptly say. Reed Gibson, Michael Chow, both down pit road together. Josh Green's going to try and take advantage of the clean air ahead of him as Gibson goes for the undercut. Now it's going to be a strategy call. Fitzsimmons moves up to second, staying out for yet another lap. Your top three drivers as it stand: Green, Fitzsimmons, wobbles. John Kasai moves up to fourth, and Nick Peterson will take over fifth. But those top five have yet to come down pit road here, as we are officially past the halfway mark. That's going to give Green a 11-second advantage over the second place driver, Fitzsimmons. Looks like the top 7 drivers yet to come down pit road. And I'm thinking we're going to see things shake up, I should say, a little bit here once the green flag stops are completed. Gibson about 26 seconds back from Green. Time on pit road. There we go. Here comes Josh Green down pit road. Will Fitzsimmons follow suit? And where's that going to put Reed Gibson once Green makes his way back out onto the race surface? Fitzsimmons opts to stay out, going as long as he possibly can. Kasai also down pit road, the number 3 machine. Looks like Wobble stays out, the number 13. As well as Nick Peterson, the number 24. Let's pan back to Josh Green for a moment, and look who's right behind him. That's Reed Gibson, the number 11 machine, who came in 1 lap prior. So once the top 5 come down pit road, this could very well be the battle for the lead. But up front, we've got a battle for what is currently a 3rd. Nick Peterson trying to fend off Gareth McAllister, as well as Ryan Tebow, who run 4th and 5th behind that number 24. But we know the top 5 drivers have all yet to come down pit road. McAllister looking for an opening around Pearson's number 24 machine, knowing he can't wait too long because he's got Ryan Tebow, the lone Canadian, out on track, the number 27, right there behind him. And Fitzsimmons wobbles. Peterson all down pit road. Around goes. That's going to be Ryan Tebow. Almost in the impact zone. Gareth McAllister will get a credit for a lap led here at Sonoma. Let's see Ryan Tebow's crash. Looked like it was on the entrance into the hairpin. Oh, just locked up the brakes slightly, I think, to avoid making contact. Thankfully slid off of the racing line. But McAllister up front, 2 seconds ahead of Josh Green, has yet to come down pit road. But enjoying the limelight in the number 25. On board with McAllister, the number 25 machine, your race leader. We think he's going to come down pit road this time by. As he is absolutely wrenching the wheel on that thing. Josh Green, Reed Gibson, running second and third, closing the gap. Not too much worry about McAllister pulling away, knowing he's got to come down pit road. And just as we say that, he does exactly that. And this is going to be the new battle for the lead once more. Josh Green, Reed Gibson. Looks like that was Michael Chow as well, moving back up into third as McAllister and Tebow both down pit road together. Green and Gibson making their way up the hill here at Sonoma. We've got 6 laps left to go. Looks like all but 3 drivers out on track still. Peter Rettinger, Norman King, and extended stays on pit road. Jack Mundy after the opening start issue, not making it back out on track. McAllister rejoins on position 10, it looks like, in the number 25. After his one planned fuel stop, it looks like everybody has completed their fuel stop. I'm going to be a little bit interested to see. Let's pan back to Antonio Bianchi, sitting 15th, the number 17 machine. He came down pit road on lap 11. A massive undercut for the rest of the field. I'm wondering, I think he should be good to go on fuel here. But that could be a talking point as he is in the last points paying position here. Again, the top 15 score points. As Micah Barnett, a big move on Justin Sang, takes over 8th. And we've got a report Jared Ziegler had an incident as well. Where'd he go? Some sort of problem coming up the hill. The back end just gets lost there. And the battle for the lead continues. Reed Gibson keeping the pressure on Green. We saw a little bit of smoke there. I wonder if that was from Reed. Maybe he had some sort of, Ziegler, maybe he had some sort of engine problems. As Green stretches his advantage about 4/10 ahead of the number 11. Reed Gibson holds on to second. Michael Chow still in third, a second and a half back. And another heated battle still between Micah Barnett and Justin Sang. Both drivers are down 3 spots from where they qualified, running 8th and 9th. As Barnett stretches that advantage back to about, it's 1.8 seconds. No, excuse me, 6/10 over Justin Sang. And we've got a pan back up front. Josh Green, Reed Gibson. We've seen the time between the two drivers close down to a 1/10, stretch back out to 3/10. I can't quite tell if there's a bunch of smoke coming up the hill or maybe the track surface is starting to ripple from the braking and acceleration bumps. Sonoma, a pretty old track, both in the real world as well as the iRacing virtual scan. One of the oldest tracks, I think, still in rotation here. Ryan Tebow, Antonio Bianchi having a fierce battle as well for 14th. Bianchi takes a peek at the outside line, has the check up, knowing he would have gotten to the back left wheel of Tebow's number 27. As Bianchi builds back up for a little bit more momentum. Xavier Zanave also with an off-track excursion and an incident. Let's see what happened to Zanave. Looks like it's going to be the same story. Yes, just loops it around. Now that's just the track surface here at Sonoma. It looks like a large cloud of smoke. But look at this. Zanave almost gets tagged, as I think that was, yes, Sparling. taking evasive maneuver off track, so well done for him, a big save. And Ryan Tebow, Antonio Bianchi, still a heated battle for 14th. Separated by about a quarter of a second here as Bianchi builds up a big run. Bianchi's number 17 machine sound like a box of marbles there on D-cell. Tebow getting just the slightest bit better drive than the number 17. But Bianchi fires back with a draft up the hill, nowhere to go. Oh, Tebow pushes wide, losing all 4 tires there. Bianchi barely lifts. Will Tebow be able to hold on to it as they go side by side up the hill? There's netcode between the two. Tebow dips 2 tires in the grass. Bianchi up the inside line. Oh, this is the racing we came to see, ladies and gentlemen. Bianchi may be able to make the position. Tebow, I think, wisely backs out of it, knowing that that was a crash just waiting to happen. And Bianchi moves back up into his original qualifying spot in 14th. And Bianchi puts his head down, trying to build up some distance away from the lone Canadian. Back up front, Gibson still looking for a hole in Josh Green's armor. Trying his absolute best to somehow take over this race lead. Now we still have 18 drivers of the 21 still out on track. All 18 still on the lead lap, but we've once again got to go back to Bianchi and Tebow. Going absolute wheel to wheel here. There's Tebow, shoots up the inside line up the hill. Bianchi closes the door. And you would think these two guys are battling like it's the lead here at Sonoma. Absolutely throwing massive moves on each other. And oh no, there's Fitzsimmons with another issue. He's going to lose a spot to Max Wobbles. And Gibson turning up the heat against Josh Green. Just a couple of laps left to go here in California. There's Jared Ziegler back down pit road. Gibson surely knows if he wants to try and make a pass for the lead, not a lot of time left to make it stick. Wants to wait as long as he can so that way Green doesn't have a chance to shoot back, but can't wait too long or we're going to run out of laps here. We've got less than 3 minutes left to go in this feature event. Again, Gibson is your current points leader here this season. Surely he knows he just needs to play it safe. Can't afford having a throwaway race this late in the season, which is exactly what Fitzsimmons needs out of Gibson if he wants a chance to battle for the championship. Currently 33 points separating Gibson, your points leader, and Fitzsimmons in second. But Fitzsimmons is all the way back to 6th at this point, not the points night he was looking for. As the white flag will be out this time by for Josh Green, race leader. Still has Gibson shadowing his every move. Michael Chow sits in the background in 3rd. Chow clicking off his fastest lap of the race, a 122.15. He's got the pace of the top 2. Just seems to be quickly running out of time here. But if Green and Gibson start battling, I think Chow still has enough time to get in the fray and make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Less than a half lap. Let's call it about a 3/10 of a lap left to see if Gibson's going to have time to make a last-ditch effort against Josh Green. He builds up a big run. If he's going to do it, it's got to be in the draft here down that final back stretch. Gibson looks to the outside line. Green guards the inside, making Gibson try the long way around. I think, yes, Josh Green's going to hold on to it here. Expertly defending Reed Gibson. Josh Green picks up the win. Gibson second, and Michael Chow will round out the top three. We're waiting to get these top three drivers up here into the waiting room. It looks like it's going to be Ryan Tebow in the final points paying position. Well, as I said that, though, Tebow did have an incident on lap 26, so he is going to be able to get into the points and lock it up. As we try and get our top three drivers up here into victory lane, still waiting on Green, Gibson, Chow to make their way up into the podium room. And well done to the viewers that vote that Gibson was going for the win. He stayed in it the entire time, never lifting. Still not sure where our drivers are. We've got Josh Green making his way. So we're going to see if we can give Gibson and Chow just a little bit more time to make their way up here to the waiting room. Otherwise, we're going to have to get things going. While several drivers will take this opportunity to get out on track for the final warm-up before the sprint race of the evening. Half the laps and twice the action here in wine country. We're going to give it about one more minute before we start the podium celebrations with race winner Josh Green, second and third place driver Gibson and Chow not making their way up here yet. We've got Reed Gibson. Trying to wait to see if we are going to have Chow. It doesn't look like we're going to get him up here. So up first, we're going to get Reed Gibson up in the booth, the number 11 machine, bringing home a second in this feature event. Reed, what a race. It looked like you and Green were very equal on pace and just didn't have enough open track there at the end to make that last move.
Yeah, no, it was definitely driving with an eye on the championship and trying not to take any risks.
Now, we did have that conversation with our fans here as well. We were kind of wondering, were you going to play it safe, and were you going to maybe just kind of follow along with Green and realize, hey, it's the championship race? And if it's the second, the latter of those, how tough is it for you, the driver, to back down that pace and try and play it safe?
Yeah, I definitely kind of split the decision. Said, I'll stick on Josh. I'll see if I can stay close. And I was looking at him sliding. I was like, he might burn up his tires. And when we got to the pit stop, I thought, I'll try the undercut. Who knows? And it didn't work out, but I was able to just stay tucked up and figured, why not send it around the outside on the final corner? And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you know, seconds what I needed.
Exactly. A very clean race, a great points paying position. What's the plan going to the feature event where the goal of the day here in California is play it safe and just maximize points every time you're out on track?
Well, I've been to Sonoma once, and a lot of people die in turn 11, so I'm just gonna try not to die while driving around a bunch of other people.
Well, hey, Reed, well said. A lot of fun watching your race, and we know you got that sprint race to get ready for. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout to that helped to bring you home in second and a little bit closer to a championship after that first race?
So shout out to my co-driver teammate Justin for helping me out huge in qualifying, and shout out to Blaine Sparling for reminding me that I need to pay attention to the championship.
Awesome, Reed. Best of luck in the sprint race, and hope to have you back up here, my friend.
Thank you.
That was Reed Gibson bringing it home in second. Up next, we've got Josh Green back in the top spot. Welcome back, my friend. Good to see you, and even better to see you in the top spot of the podium.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really good race. It was a lot of fun.
Now, I think I know the answer, but we haven't seen you out on track. Definitely a part-time driver this season. Is that real-life racing shenanigans kind of interrupting, or you got other stuff going on in life?
We got some real life racing shenanigans interrupting some big stuff for next year. So it's all coming together. We'll see.
Awesome. Now, when you are able to get out here, every time you take a hiatus and come back, it seems like the field just keeps getting faster and faster, different names and paces. So what's that like coming back out on track? We haven't seen you since November 10th, so I guess a week ago, which wasn't the best race, but now all of a sudden you've got guys going wheel to wheel with you here at League Zero.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Honestly, there's like 4 or 5 guys every single race event that can fight for the lead. So it's been Finley and Reed that have been super quick. So it's been fun to sort of challenge myself and get to do some racing.
Now, speaking of that, challenge yourself, and you're going to be right in the thick of it, starting 12th in the sprint race with the inverted grid. How's that kind of play into the factor of what you're going to decide to make for race calls when there's so many and so many different fast drivers you're going to have to try and slice through the field in this final sprint?
I think the reality of it is always going to be ahead of whoever the quick guys are. Finley is going to be starting up in 6th, so he'll be the hardest one to catch and beat. But it'll just be about getting through the field quickest. I've been able to in the past sprint races I've been a part of, so we'll see.
Awesome. Josh, I'm looking forward to it. Great to have you back, especially in that top spot. Before we let you go, we know the sprint race is going to be starting here shortly. Who do you want to give a shout to that helps make this win possible for you?
Shout out to my parents who are watching downstairs. Thanks for all your support in my racing career.
Awesome. Josh, always a pleasure, my friend. Good luck, and hope to have you back up here soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was Josh Green bringing it home in first, but look who made his way up into the booth oh so leisurely. We've got Michael Chow in the 66 finishing third. Michael, I don't know where you went, but we're glad you got here, buddy.
Well, I went to go change my shirt because I was so sweaty.
It was one of those races.
Oh, yeah.
Michael, what made this so physically demanding here at Sonoma, where you had that little moisture issue and having to get through at the end? I mean, it looked like a relatively clean race for you, all things considered.
Yeah, it was clean, but I was pushing, just trying to stay with the leaders, hoping something would happen. I had just enough to stay within 1.5 seconds the entire time. So, but it required a lot of pushing, and this place doesn't. It's a small margin for error around here. So yeah, that led to a little bit of dampness. But now I got a dry fit shirt on, so I should be good to go for the sprint.
Even better. Now, Michael, you've been very consistent for the last few rounds, just about always in the top 5. You've been on the podium since pretty much October 13th, where you had that sprint race good result. What's been the secret to the success, getting that consistency out of you in your program?
Oh, I just think of the all-time greats like Valtteri Bottas, Rubens Barrichello. Can't really get to the top, but just got to stay consistent.
Well, hey, I'm glad it's working out for you. It's good to have you back up here more often. And Michael, what's the plans for the sprint race here to try and capitalize on that momentum you've had?
Well, the faster guys are behind me, so we'll see what happens. If they get past, I'll try to follow them through. If not, I'm gonna try to make the thing really wide around here.
Awesome, Michael. We're looking forward to a good show. We wish you the best of luck in the sprint race. And before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to that helped you bring home a third this evening?
Shout out to the Chicken House guys. Shout out to you, James. I love your broadcasts, and everybody else. We're putting on a good race.
Awesome. Thank you, my friend, and best of luck in this final sprint of the evening.
See ya.
And that was Michael Chow bringing home third. We're going to run a quick break. Don't go anywhere. And in 1 minute or less, we will be back for the final sprint race of the evening. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the final sprint race of the night. The top 12 are inverted. We've got 13 laps here at Sonoma. No scheduled pit stops. Garrett Green joining us in the spectator area. He's cheering on son, world-famous superstar Josh Green, winning the feature event here at Sonoma. Green will be starting back in 12th with that inverted top 12. It's going to be a good one up front. It's going to be Jake Duckwall, Nick Peterson, Gareth McAllister, Justin Sang, John Kasai, Micah Barnett, Fitzsimmons and Wobbles, Chow and Beaver, and then Gibson and Green rounding out the top 12. Let's see if all drivers can survive the pace lap this time. And it looks like all 21 drivers did return back onto the race surface. Everybody getting those virtual cars hammered back into shape. Now these Formula 3 machines and drivers not quite used to the siding lap. Normally a standing start, so a bit of an error in the race setup from race control, but drivers making the best of what they've got. Now the big question as well is, will we see the safety car come out? Will we see a large enough crash to warrant a yellow flag, a full course caution? It's fairly rare here at League Zero to see it, but we've seen crazier things. Safety car comes down pit road. As we get ready for the lights to turn on for Duckwall and Peterson on that front row. And I don't know what's going to happen as the green flag flies, but it's going to be exciting here at the League Zero Formula 3 Series. And already a massive pileup. Fitzsimmons is in it. The whole field's in it. The entirety of the field has absolutely wadded up. Blaine Sparling off track. Michael Chow tied up in it. It's carnage everywhere at Sonoma, and the full course caution comes out. The safety car will roll. As, at least half the field has thrown it away up the hill. McAllister, Kasai, Fitzsimmons, Sang, Bianchi, Sparling, Tebow, Ziegler, Green tied up in that one. Oh, and this is going to be the highlight. Get the DVR ready for our old viewers at home. This is going to be a good one. Let's get ready. We're going to focus that camera in on Gareth McAllister as he heads up the hill. The number 25 machine already getting forced 3 wide. I think that was Barnett in the 59 up the inside. And look at that. Let's back that up a little bit and see where things went wrong, just like the phrase song for Gareth McAllister. Pinched in the middle. Is there net code involved? Is it good old-fashioned contact? Oh, it's net code for days, ladies and gentlemen. McAllister gets punched just sideways. The field checks up, and here comes the carnage. The track totally blocked. McAllister getting sent to the shadow realm as Fields crashing in behind him. Oh, there's just so many good crashes all at once. Trying to think, I think that Xavier Zanave right in the middle of it. He gets in the back of the 27. And just, man, the hits keep coming like a Cher concert. My, oh my, look at the carnage here at Sonoma. The safety car is out. Fitzsimmons, Sang, Green, McAllister already down pit road. I need a drink of water after that one, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to see who's going to be still left out on track as I'm expecting a few more drivers to come down pit road. Josh Green retiring from the main event. He's put it back in the virtual hauler. Sang, King, McAllister, Chow, all still in pit road. Looks like everybody else still out on track. Fitzsimmons may have problems here. He's well behind the field, but he did come down pit road. Looks to be relatively well sorted as he tries to catch up to the rest of the field. At this point, I don't know if it's going to be a double file restart. The race session settings definitely outside the norm of what we're used to, but man, oh man, what a violent crash in the uphill here at Sonoma. As we currently sit in pacing conditions. The fastest pacing lap of the day from Blaine Sparley, number 9. He clicked off a 2:15 under a full course caution. 2 to 5 seconds faster than the rest of the field. Norman King has put it back into the virtual hauler. He is retired for the evening. Pace car should be coming in this time by. And we will try this again. The already short 13-lap sprint race going to be much, much shorter. And we will still have 16 drivers on this restart. There's still plenty of opportunity for carnage. Pace car is in. Driver's not sure if it's a single file restart or not. I wonder if Peterson has damage, as he was way off on the outside line. Micah Barnett, Max Wobbles, Nick Beaver right there in it. Dick Duckwall with a spectacular green flag launch, as it looks like the party's all here second through fifth. A little bit further back, Antonio Bianchi has his hands full with Xavier Zanabe as they go weaving across the track. There's Peter Redger, the number 44 as well. Drivers having no time to see if they had any damage under pacing, just kind of having to feel it out under very slow conditions. Peter Redger goes off track in that exchange as we go back up front. And there's contact. Nick Beaver off track, careens off into the grass. Let's see, who did he have contact with? It was just ever so slight, and Netcode continues to take away from these drivers. The iRacing gods frowning upon the Formula 3 machines here today. There's Reed Gibson, the number 11. He knows he's in a good position here. Finley Fitzsimmons, his closest competition. Currently back out in 12th. He was involved in that turn 1 fray, as Cohn's getting absolutely punted here at Sonoma. There's also Jared Ziegler, Felipe Sarkis battling for 6th on board with Ziegler, number 57. He just set a 124.71. I guess technically the fastest green flag race of the day so far. As you can see, Sarkis pulling just the slightest bit of advantage. Nick Peterson trying to hold on to the 3rd place spot. He's down 1 spot from where he started. A big bobble out of Wobbles. Gibson looking for an opening, wants to maximize the points here in the number 11. He's already up 6 positions gained. Right now, Hard Chargers, Jack Mundy back in 9th. He's up 12 positions. Was able to check up for the turn 1 carnage just in time. Mundy makes it 13, getting around Antonio Bianchi's number 17 machine. Ryan Tebow finds himself pointing the wrong direction. Looks like no contact though, keeps that forward momentum. What is going on here? Xavier Zanave, an interesting line. Finley Fitzsimmons takes a tow back to pit road, not sure where. Oh my goodness. Back that one up. It looked like that could have been Renger. Enhance. Oh, that was not Renger. And oh, there goes Zanave. So it was Fitzsimmons, lost it all on his own. Zanave gets absolutely collected there. As we pan it back to Jake Duckwall, Micah Barnett battling for the lead. Oh, and look at that, Barnett with a big move, capitalizing on Duckwall's mistake, a new race leader. Barnett and Duckwall first and second. They've pulled a 1.1 second advantage over Peterson. Heading back to Peterson. He's got Wobbles. He's got Gibson right behind him. As a little bit further back, Felipe Sarkis and Jared Ziegler taking jabs at each other. Ziegler takes the long way around. Sarkis immediately answers up the inside line. Right behind them, that's Jack Mundy, Antonio Bianchi. Just great racing from everyone here today once we've actually got these cars moving. Reed Gibson trying to set up for a draft pass against Wobbles. Also looks like they're catching up. Wobbles gets around Peterson. Gibson does so as well. Gibson, Peterson still side by side. Looks like Peterson may have the advantage ever so slightly. Gibson holds on to fifth. Now for Gibson, this is going to be all about capitalizing points. He knows his closest competition back in pit road. Fitzsimmons will not score any points here. Wobbles with a mistake. He's off track. Peterson takes back over third. Gibson looking for an opening. Can't quite find it yet. Ziegler a second back, trying to close the gap to this three-car battle for third. Gibson a big move up the inside line against Wobbles. Takes over fourth. Peterson still holds on to third, about a quarter of a second ahead of that number 11, who's been absolutely on fire here. Gibson, a big lunge, takes over the third place spot. There's contact between Peterson and Wobbles. Both drivers get through unscathed out of the hairpin. A bit of smoke pops up from the lockups. This is giving Jared Ziegler, number 57 machine, a great chance to close the gap as we still go side by side up the hill. Here comes Jared Ziegler to interrupt himself in the party. Now your race leader, Micah Barnett, checking out up front. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of Jake Duckwall. Oh, as that Wobbles tries a line through the grass here, what used to be grass here in Sonoma. And look at Peterson and Wobbles going at it side by side. Jared Ziegler joining the fray. Reed Gibson putting a 1.4 second gap over the fourth and fifth and now sixth place drivers. And oh, there goes Wobbles. Looks like he just throws it away. Nick Peterson's going to get caught up in that one as well. Wobbles takes a tow back to pit road. Where is Peterson? He is ninth out on the track. Jared Ziegler will move up into fourth. Jack Mundy up into fifth. That's his 16th position gained here. And once again, it looks like Antonio Bianchi, Felipe Sarkis fighting it out. Sarkis runs sixth, Bianchi seventh. Both drivers up 7 positions. And Bianchi wants to make it 8 here, charging up the hill. Sarkis defends, keeping the number 17 machine at bay. And you can audibly hear the drivers working all 4 tires, sliding it around here. The dirty air off the driver in front, definitely a factor with how much downforce you're able to squeeze out of these Formula 3 machines, especially in a slower portion of the track. Drivers really fighting for traction as the car unloads up the hill. Looks like it's going to be 13 of the 21 drivers still out on track. Let's make it 14. Justin Sang was able to return after a very long pit stop. And Bianchi keeping the pressure on the Brazilian driver, Felipe Sarkis. And keep an eye out. Here comes John Kasai, the propane man himself, the number 3. trying to get a little bit further up into the points. Now Justin Sang in the 68 will be able to, I believe, get one more position. If he can stay out for another lap and a half, he'll get around Max Wobbles, who's taking a tow back to pit road on lap 7. And here at League Zero, if you take a tow back to pit road, you are done and out of the race, cannot rejoin. Oh, Jack Mundy has big issues. There goes Sarkis, there goes Bianchi, there goes Kasai. Mundy, who was our hard charger, falls back to 8th. That's going to be giving Jared Ziegler the hard charger position. He is now up 14 spots and has stretched a 3-second gap over Felipe Sarkis. Sarkis still has Bianchi, Kasai, and now Mundy right in tow. We've got Laura Kasai join us in the spectator area, cheering on husband John Kasai. Kasai has Mundy right behind, a little bit further back, about 1 second back. There's Nick Peterson, Nick Beaver. The battle for 9th. Oh, and Mundy has complicating problems off track once more. They're too wide, too deep. Peterson still ahead of Beaver. As it looks like Kasai putting the pressure on Mundy. Mundy has had a string of off tracks that last laps. Gotta cool off the head a bit, keep the momentum forward. Xavier Zanave back out on track in the number 12 machine. Oh, and Kasai, big issues off track. Gonna fall back to, I believe, 12th, as there goes the Austrian, Peter Renger. Jared Ziegler up 14 spots. Jack Mundy once again up 14 spots. Your current top 3, Micah Barnett, Reed Gibson, Jake Duckwall. Now Bianchi has about a 1.1 second gap over Mundy due to the off-track shenanigans of the number 2 British driver. So I think Bianchi is going to try and get around Sarkis as quick as he can, because Mundy rapidly closing the gap, going to interject himself into the battle for 5th between Sarkis and Bianchi. Your top 4 drivers checking out, very well spread out. No drivers closer than 1.7 seconds amongst each other inside the top 4. And just a couple of laps left to make something happen. As Sarkis extends his gap over Bianchi now to a half second. But we've got to keep an eye on Jack Mundy. We know he has the pace. If he can gain one more spot against Bianchi, he will gain the hard charger award here tonight at Sonoma. Xavier Zanave moves back into the points, getting around Max Wobbles, who finds himself retired on pit road. Bianchi trying to work that draft against Sarkis, but knowing the white flag is out, not much time left to make any big moves. And here comes Nick Beaver, keeping the pressure on Jack Mundy. Still racing to be had here at Sonoma. Oh, Bianchi off track ever so slightly, the number 17 machine. That's going to give Mundy and Beaver a chance to close the distance. Mundy keeping his head down. He wants to get up to Sarkis and Bianchi, but Nick Beaver's not going to make it easy in that number 10 machine, keeping the pressure on the 2 of Mundy. A half lap left to go for Micah Barnett, your race leader. This would be Micah Barnett's first win of the season. He is currently third in points. Checkered flag is out. Micah Barnett gonna pick up his first win of the season here at Sonoma. Reed Gibson will finish second. Jake Duckwall will round out the top three. Micah Barnett enjoying the moment. And he's going to smoke it down here at Sonoma in the 59 machine. Briefly. A very brief burnout out of Micah Barnett. And we're going to try and get these top three drivers up here into victory lane, waiting on Micah Barnett, Reed Gibson, Jake Duckwall. We've got Barnett up into the waiting room. Still waiting on Gibson and Duckwall. Looks like we've got Duckwall, and now we're just waiting on Gibson so we can get this party started. And here we go for the final time of the night. Up first is Jake Duckwall on the 99 machine. Jake, great run, picking up a podium. That's a pretty darn good evening when we saw so many drivers going home early.
Yeah, thanks. I'm pretty happy with it. I got pretty lucky after like a long streak of bad luck. So yeah, third place is really good.
Yeah, and you're right. It has been a series of unfortunate events to describe this back half of the season. It's been back at Fuji before we saw you get another top five. And what happened here at Sonoma that the sea parted for you, and next thing you know, back up here in the podium?
Yep, I was just mediocre enough to finish in 12th in the feature, so starting in first, and there was all the safety car drama, and I got pretty lucky on the restarts too. So.
Now, Jake, starting up front, I know that was a huge advantage. Did you have any idea the level of carnage behind you once you crested that first hill?
No, I mean, I still haven't seen the replay, but I imagine it was immense.
Oh, it's a good one, my friend. But Jake, I mean, welcome. A great race, finishing third, a clean race when we saw so many drivers go home early. You got to be pumped, kind of breaking that bad luck streak, and hopefully some momentum to be built off after tonight.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, Jake, a great race. Before I let you go and celebrate, who do you want to give a shout out to that helped you bring home third here this evening?
Yeah, shout out to my new kitten, Stella. She's 12 weeks old, and yesterday when I was practicing, she got her head stuck in the wall. So, yeah, I almost had to call the fire department for that, but I got her out, and, yeah, now she's outside my door crying. So, yeah,
well,
for her.
Congratulations to you and the kitten, Jake. Great to have you, man, and congratulations on another great race.
All right, thanks. See ya.
That was Jake Duckwall joining us with a third place. Up next, Reed Gibson, back-to-back second place in the number 11. You came here with points on your mind with championship hopes and able to execute very well on that strategy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I called it out of the interview. I was just going to try and avoid the death, and I chose left. I feel like most people right-handed to choose right, so came out on top.
Now, Reed, I mean, we talked about lap one carnage. I think this one delivered. I mean, this is one of the biggest pileups I think I've called here at League Zero. How were you able to skate through the madness unscathed?
Yeah, I mean, I think just keeping a heads up, knowing that something's probably going to go down. I lifted and started braking, smoothly early, and I saw my teammate, unfortunately, sliding across the track, and I picked the direction he wasn't sliding in, and the rest is 100% luck.
Well, hey, glad to see you have a clean race and an excellent points night for both you and the team. And back-to-back seconds. Again, you executed on exactly the race plan, so very well done. Very, very fun to watch. And Reed, for the final time tonight, my friend, who do you want to give a shout to that helped to make this happen for you?
So just another shout out to my spotter Blaine for reminding me to not do anything dumb, even though it's the sprint. And shout out to the league for throwing these on. I know you guys do a lot of work, and we really appreciate it.
Awesome. Reed, congratulations, my friend. Hope to have you back up here next week. And again, well done on a very solid night.
Thank you.
That was Reed Gibson bringing it home in second. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Micah Barnett. Welcome to the top spot for the first time this season. Good to have you. And my, oh my, what a wild one to make it happen at.
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks, James. Good to see you back in the booth. And yeah, I was just watching the turn one mayhem there, and looks like Gareth and I got some net code, and I hate that it didn't just end his race, but it looks like a bunch of other people too. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, one of the biggest crashes I think I've called here in netcode, absolutely a contributing factor. How quickly did you realize how massive an incident that was once we saw the caution come out?
I think whoever was on race control, I think it's Alex, he was on top of it. He knew about it way sooner than I did. I could just barely see Gareth out of my sort of peripheral vision, and I thought we were good. And then all of a sudden I could see the side of his car, and so I knew he had an issue, and then I could see the smoke behind me, but I was all the way around the corner already. So yeah, the race control was right on top of it. I think a caution was the right call there.
Well, glad to have you back, and you've been very consistent when bad luck isn't marring. I mean, a 17th at Long Beach and a top 5 as well, so it's always a give and a fourth. What's the plan to your consistency coming up late? You're third in points. Suddenly you're way closer to the top 2 after a great result tonight. Is there still championship hopes for you and the team?
Maybe. I mean, Long Beach was super disappointing. That was a track I actually had a ton of pace at, got wiped out early and never got to fight. So I think Interlagos is a track I can do well at. Road Atlanta, maybe. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep fighting and just keep trying to keep my nose clean and not have contact or get tied up in anything.
Well, Mike, it was a lot of fun watching and calling the action here tonight. And again, congratulations, and a huge congratulations, your first win this season. I know it's been a long time coming for you. And my friend, you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the evening. Who do you want to give a shout to that helps make this win possible for you?
As always, shout out to Scuderia Chicken House. Great bunch of guys. Reed, Mike, Justin, Blaine, Max, all the crew that races. Pete, my teammate, who couldn't make it tonight. And my family, and that's it. And you guys in the booth too. So that's it. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Micah. Congratulations again. Hope to see you have future success, and hopefully we'll have you back up here next week, my friend.
I hope so. Thanks, James.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
That was Micah Barnett bringing home the win here, the final sprint race of the evening. Reed Gibson scoring second, and Jake Duckwall rounding out the top 3 in a wild, wild evening here at Sonoma. Thank you to our fans, friends, and family tuning in, supporting the league, supporting your favorite drivers, as well as supporting the broadcast. My name's been James East on behalf of LeagueZero.net, as well as Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for spending a Thursday afternoon with us, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.